So, I just kind of wanted to go over a couple of problems I found in the new version of Atmosphir. Mostly they have to do with the new ability to scale objects. Now, if I scale these up, you can see I can still work with them just fine on the grid. But let's say I wanted to scale them down. Let's say I wanted to make a level where the character is like a giant or something. You'll notice that I can no longer connect them together easily. Now, of course, what I can do is lay down a floor and use the snapping ability I can place one and then I can... But see, another problem I get now is I have to sit here and try to line it up perfect, and there's no way I'm going to get that right. But you see, another problem I'm having now is there is a limit in the game to having one prop per cell. So that basically means if I wanted to connect these, I'd have to put this one right on the line of its cell, then put this one right on the line of its cell. But then I can't connect on the other ends, because if I try to, it won't let me because there's already one in this cell. Plus, you can see I didn't line them up very well. You can see they're not lined up perfectly. So, what I'm trying to say is the one prop per cell rule needs to no longer apply to scaled objects, because it becomes impossible to line them up properly. Again, I can't line these up. So there's almost no point to scaling some of these that are meant to be scaled down, because you just can't line them up and build off the grid. Also, free snapping is a pain to line stuff up. It's almost impossible, especially with this water. I mean, that just looks terrible. And plus, now they're at different heights for some reason. Why are they at different heights? So you can try to line it up, but you're still going to have that line there. Another thing, if I wanted to build a slanted level, suppose I wanted to use for whatever reason, suppose I wanted to have a bunch of these slanted together. Well, now I have to place one, and I have to completely freehand it. And I can copy and paste it, but you can see it's still not quite lined up with the grid like I wanted it. I mean, if I copy it, it lines up with the other blocks, but it's not lined up with the grid. See, there's a gap there. What I'm proposing as a solution to this is, first of all, we get rid of the one prop per cell rule. The second thing I propose is that we get a dynamic grid, meaning if I scale this down, the entire grid scales down with it. So that instead of having this big of a square, I have a square that matches the size of this. Furthermore, if I have a slope, and I freeze snap it, I would like the grid to then tilt to match my block. Then I could easily line everything up with it once I have my tilted and scaled grid. And of course there would be a button up here to get the grid back to normal. And then whenever you select an object, the grid would automatically turn and shrink or grow to match that object. This would be very useful for manipulating these props that need to be lined up.